Alright guys, let's try this again. Let's get Steven Snyder back in here. We'll be interviewing with him today. What's up guys? Thanks for joining. My name's Angelica. We're back again on behalf of F.A.T.E Global, the Foundation for Artistic Talent and Empowerment. Oh, Steven's back. Just send us a request. We're working through our technical difficulties. You know how Instagram can be. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in. Today we'll be interviewing with casting director Steven Snyder. He's going to send us a request. He's in right now. And we're going to have a conversation with him. Again, we've been going live, the Foundation for Artistic Talent and Empowerment. We've been going live with artists every day this week. We've been going down to 1 day per week. We've been interviewing with artists, hoping that you'll be inspired by their story, by their testimony, and them sharing their insight and their expertise about the industry. Again, Steven, you're in here. I see you. Thanks for waving at us. Could you just send us a request over? If you send us a request to join, we can add you. Actually, I can possibly add you myself. Let's see. Perfect. So you should pop up now. But again, guys, welcome back. I'm Angelica on behalf of F.A.T.E Global. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Gotcha. Let me turn my screen. Good. So what's up, guys? You have to turn your screens today. This looks good, actually. I like that. How are you? Again.
I'm doing good. And yourself? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you look great, and I can hear you great, and I love the poster in the background.
Yep. Original James Bond poster, 1962.
That's the original?
Yep, that's one of original poster hung in a wall of a movie theater back in 1962, and was bequeathed to me many years ago.
Nice.
And yeah, I am a Bond fan, but I love all movies. So
I love that. I love that. You see the transformation?
I'm open. It's all good.
That was quick. It was a transformation. Let's get started though. So yeah, today we're interviewing. We have people that are joining in with us. Hey, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for joining in. They're excited to have you here with us. We have Steven Snyder. He's a casting director. He's amazing. He's been in the industry for a very long time. So we're hoping that you guys will learn something. I'm pretty sure you should have your notepads ready so you can take some tools away from his testimony and his journey. What we've been doing, so I have the company, the nonprofit, F.A.T.E, the Foundation for Artistic Talent and Empowerment. And so what we do is we inspire artists, we empower them, and we do our different artistic events, and we bring on people like you that they may not have as much access to learn information and tools that they can take to advance their artistic careers. So today we're going to be interviewing you. So thanks for coming on here. We really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's just get started, because I know some of the people that are joining in with us, they're probably wondering, okay, so how did you get your start? How did you actually get into the entertainment industry? How did that happen for you?
Boy, that could take a while. Like everybody else, my journey began in front of the camera as an actor, and I was very blessed to figure that out early in life. I went to New York, studied for 4 years. In 4 years, I did 22 plays and studied with Uta Hagen, Sandy Meisner, Eric Morris, Ruby Dee, Ozzie Davis. Yes.
Whoa, you guys hear that?
These were my teachers. Are very blessed in the late 70s to catch mid 70s to catch Herbert Burkoff and all these great, wonderful teachers. I only had one goal, and that was to be a really good actor and learn my craft. That's all I cared about. And then ratchet forward, after 4 years, I moved to Los Angeles because, I knew that I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance. There's a lot of musicals going on, and I thought, well, you know what? I really think I can hit a bigger group of people, go out to Hollywood, and then restart. So I restarted. And I made a good living for 17 years with a face like this. I worked a lot.
And a beard like that.
Well, I had the beard at different times, but enjoyed being a working journeyman actor for, like I said, for 17 years. And then during my 16th to 17th year, there's a huge strike, and I felt like there might be something I'm missing from the other side of the table. And I talked to a few casting friends and said, hey, can I come be a reader? Can I shuffle papers? Can I answer phones? Can I be a fly on the room, in the room of the casting? And then I fell in love with casting and became really successful really fast.
Nice.
So I followed my flow.
Wow, follow my flow. That's an amazing. I'm gonna take that advice right there. And you guys, I hope you heard that. He said he followed his flow. That's amazing advice. Wow. So did you always know, like from a very young boy, that you wanted to get into entertainment? I know casting kind of came along a bit later, but
Hmm.
did you dabble in other things along your journey?
Well, yeah, in between the when I came out to as when I landed in Los Angeles, I had about $250 in my pocket. This is almost 40 years ago, and then my car broke down. That took half my money away, and I got down to about $125. And talked to my friend who had come out ahead of me, and he gave me some wise advice. He says, "Figure out what your budget is for 1 year. If you were
Mm-hmm.
to work as an actor for 1 year." And without having any source of income, how much would it be? At that point, it was $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So in 11 months, I just removed myself from any artistic endeavors and got 3 jobs and worked 24/7. And in 11 months, I saved the $10,000. And then I was able to focus on my craft, have my tools, have my pictures, resume, transportation, insurance, dental, medical, rent, so you don't have that anxiety or that
That's
desperation.
yeah. That's the
You
thing.
know, there's a piece of advice that I can give is to always have the inspiration, but not the perspiration,
Yeah, that's a good one.
or the desperation, because
Right.
it's going to happen. It's going to
Right.
happen.
Leave the desperation at the door. I like that.
So,
Awesome. So what part of casting do you enjoy most? Like what is your favorite part?
oh God, there's so many favorite parts. I call the callback day. You know, first of all, with casting days,
Hmm.
I love what I do. I'm very blessed to be able to do what I love. And once you go through, I'll give you an example. Dead Rose is a movie that we're working on right now. We have all of our names in place at this point. We had 28 roles. We released 9 of them. For 9 roles, we had 19,000 submissions.
Wow.
And out of 19,000 submissions, partly because we ran into the pandemic,
Mm.
everything was done on EcoCast with self tapes.
Mm-hmm.
We send out 1,470 self tapes invitations, and we received back close to 900.
Wow.
So that gives us about 100 actors per role that we're filtering through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that said, my favorite part is the callback. I love casting. I work in a room. Sometimes actors are used to going to a place where there's 5 or 6 casting rooms and several casting directors that are there in various rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I always kind of look at the other people, and some of them got a stink eye or they don't seem happy,
Mm.
and I'm just happy.
That's
You
awesome.
know,
God is
my
good.
grandma, my good old grandma said you can choose crappy or you can choose happy. Well, I choose happy, and actors come in and they say, "Oh my God, you're so welcoming and you're so excited to see us, and you seem so genuinely happy." And I said, "This is the Super Bowl. This
Mm.
is where your work, your agent's work, your manager's work, and my work. This is my Super Bowl."
I love that.
Because my goal for today is to take and be, at the end of the day, have 2 to 3 choices for each role,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can move forward to the second favorite thing, which is to hire the actors.
Awesome. Man, that's amazing. I love your energy too. You have such great energy.
Okay,
And it's
very
very
kind.
authentic too. Like people can resonate with that from your heart to theirs. So I love that about you already. Um,
Oh,
yeah. So I'll ask you another thing. So I know that you mentioned the quarantine and kind of holding up a couple things. How are you handling that, with the casting process and, your current workload? I know you currently have classes if you want to speak to that as well, because I'm sure some people on here will want to get involved.
yeah. Well, number one, it's nothing but a thing. It's just another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Life gives us lemons. We make lemonade.
Come on now, Beyonce.
You just gotta do with it what it is.
Yeah.
If anything, if we go back to the 1930s during the Depression era, what was the most successful business was the new going from the silence to the talkies was right around the Depression time. But the film industry was built on a depression,
Mm.
both in the black community and in the white bread community,
Mm-hmm.
because people could put together a nickel and go see a movie and get out of the hot heat or get out of the cold or be able to be together as a family, whether it be a biological family or a surrogate family, and we could take our mind off things. So we need music, we need inspiration, we need cinema, whether it be on your phone or it be in a movie palace. So, we made it through that. We made it through the fires, the assassinations. We'll make it through this. People just got to, stay solid, stay positive. Each and every day, try to go out and share some kindness with people. Check in with your neighbors. Check in with your family. Don't ask for nothing but just to give them a little sunshine.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so you have your virtual classes that you're doing. Can you tell them about that?
Well, for the last, because I came from acting, I used to hang out at the Comedy Store, and I was the actor that wasn't a comedian. So the comedians would come to me and say, "Hey, you're an actor. Can you help us out?" So I always look to. They say, "What makes a star? What makes a star? What's the difference between an actor, a selfish actor, and a star?" Is that you should make your goal as an actor to whatever's in front of you, to lift that up and embrace it and help it. I got to work on many projects, and I got to meet Cicely Tyson, my hero, one of my heroes.
Man,
and I was on set, and because I come from New York, you never look directly at the stars or the leads in the film or the TV show. And I kept walking by her, and every time I walked by her, I'm kind of doing this. And she hollered at me and said, "Hey, baby, what you doing?" And I said, "Oh, crap, now she's talking to me. What am I going to do with this?" And I said, "Well, I'm not allowed to talk to you, ma'am." And she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, we've been instructed to stay out your way and to respect your space." And she got up she was on the stoop of her dressing room. She grabbed my hand, pulled me down on the stoops like we would in New York or Brooklyn or, Hell's Kitchen. And she said, "You're going to just sit with me. We're going to talk." And she, just made my heart soar because she embraced me and encouraged me. So if there's one thing that I can do as a teacher and hopefully as a casting director is to be an encourager. I want to encourage you and say, yes, you can if you're willing, if you're willing to pay the price and do the time and put the work in. Anything's possible. How the heck did I wind up on the set with Michael Jackson directing Librarian Girl? As a casting director. Yes, I got a chance. I've been very blessed.
What experience?
I do not know where it comes from. I just give my thanks to God. And again, I followed my flow. As far as the teaching stuff goes, I got pulled into it because actors kept coming at me, and I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I should organize and put together a little bit of time. So for the last 22 years, I've been teaching in Hollywood on Monday and Tuesday night, dedicating my life to that. Also because who are my friends are writers, producers, other casting directors, agents, managers, cinematographers, and they're kind enough to come in and share their knowledge with us, as well as getting an opportunity to, my wife's going to bring me a little coffee.
Okay, hey, wifey.
Thank you, Mama. What would I do without her? So if I can share that and offer a positive, creative environment where actors are encouraged to fail, because the most success comes out of failure. You got to be willing to risk it all. You got to be able to take the shot. Ben Affleck said when he won the Best Director award for I always forget the name of the movie, but he held up the thing and he said, "This is for 50 years of getting knocked down." Because don't be afraid to be knocked down. You just dust yourself off and get back up. So for 22 years, I've been teaching in the room. The pandemic hit about 8 weeks ago. I was heading to class on Monday to teach. I did my class on Monday. I have a class on Tuesday. I was walking out the door with all my preparation done and my students, and I got hit with the health department closed down all the theaters. So I sat at home. I prayed about it. I thought about it. And I go, there's got to be a way to continue the journey that we have as artists and actors. And somebody introduced me to Zoom. So I started Zooming, and I learned it, and I encourage every actor to get off the couch, get in front of the camera. It's not only the wave of the future is here now. And if we do not embrace technology in the next wave, we're going to get left behind. Same way people in the silent era got left behind because they couldn't progress.
That's
so stay progressive, stay progressing, and always be true to your own self. You know, and mediocrity is not an option.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the bar that you set for yourself?
I love that. Great advice. I mean, you're dropping so many nuggets and gems already. So I hope you guys have your treasure box open. I was going to ask you, so what would be, because a lot of people with casting, they get in front of casting directors and actors, they get nervous and things of that sort. What would be like, if you have any pet peeves, or what do you find most difficult in your casting process? What's like your pet peeves when you're working with actors?
Nothing really. I mean, it's because learning, we're here to learn. We're here to learn. Recently I turned 64 years young, so I hope I continue
Happy
to. Thank you, peace. What I hope to do is to continue to learn as a casting director, as a teacher. In casting, I like to learn from my assistants and associates because they're going to help lead me into the next way of doing things. As a teacher and as a casting director, the actors are coming in. I'm trying to learn from them, and I'm trying to learn something about them, and I'm trying to make them comfortable and made to feel welcome and important and supported. So really, other than there's another, Sean Penn, the great actor, said once, because he had worked as a director, and of course we all know Sean Penn is an actor and also now is a philanthropist, because he's really helped out during even before the COVID around the world, helping feed the world. But he was asked on the talk show, what was the difference between directing and acting, and he says, as a director, I'm building a foundation, I'm building a framework, I'm building a house, I'm putting up the walls, I'm bringing in colors. He goes, as an actor, I feel like a 2x4 having nails driven into me.
I can relate.
So the most freedom that you're going to have as an actor is in your process and what you bring to the table. And if what you bring to the table is good, we're probably not going to adjust a lot of things.
Yeah.
Being self-sufficient, being independent as an actor, understanding the script. The script is the key. The script is the musicality. The script has already been hired. We're trying to get hired with this script. So if you get an audition, you read the sides or you look at the breakdown, make sure that's something that you want to do, because you're probably going to get an audition.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have to pass on that audition. And it's okay to pass. I mean, there's going to be things that are going to come up, conflicts because you booked a job before we hire you. Those are things beyond our control on the casting side, understood. The audition, here's the thing about audition. Number one, casting directors, we want you to win. Producers want you to win. Producers and directors and writers, for the most part, it's just another piece of the pie for them. They want that pie to be delicious. They want to get in and get out. They want to, they want to hit it and quit it. So that's why I say to the people that I work for, and why I have relationships for 5, 15, 20, 25, 30 years plus, is because 100% is bullshit. I got to give you 200%. I want you to be 200% satisfied. So how can you translate that as an actor to say, I will not allow mediocrity and laziness to... Al Pacino said, the sound he never wanted to hear was woulda, coulda, shoulda. I would have worked on it. I should have worked on it. I could have worked on it. Damn, I didn't do it. And now with the EcoCast, we will return to the room at some time. It's gonna take a while before we get there. But in the meantime, with EcoCast or self-tape, that's where you get an audition, and we send you the sides, and then you self-tape it, and then you send us the audition that you shot yourself. So getting your tools together, and you can get a ring light for $15 or $20. Everybody has an iPhone or a phone. It has a great camera on it. We have great technology that's affordable. So you'll get an audition. You'll have, sometimes it turns around in 48 hours. Sometimes I usually try to give 5 days. If you cannot take 2 to 3 pages of dialogue, get off book and get in front of that camera in 5 days, you're probably not ready for that role.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
get it, get to it, and do it as quick
Yeah.
as you can.
Yeah.
You know, and
I appreciate that.
the job that you're looking for, and there's many memorization techniques out there. Until you take possession of the words, it's still the writer's words.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I'm looking at 100 submissions coming in on self tapes, the people that are going to stand out are the people that are showing me what they're going to do when they get to the set.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
that's just the focus is on that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get the job, that's also not a negative.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
what your goal should be, besides to do good work, is to understand that it's not your job to get the job.
Mm.
And actually, technically, there is no job. At the
Ah.
point of at the intent of audition, there's no job.
Mm.
The job you have is the audition, and
Mm.
that's within your power to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
It's within your power to achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a friend, have him be a reader, get that lighting hooked up, break that script down, reach out to your coach, make sure you beat the hell out of that script,
Mm-hmm.
and then get yourself in front of the camera and rock it like a pocket.
Mm.
If we want something different, we will tell you. And I say what's in your power is not only to do good work and to represent yourself well, but also you can win the casting office. If you win the casting office, that's within your power. How are you going to win the casting office? Well, 90% of success is showing up.
Mm.
So show up.
Mm-hmm.
The other 10% is we pray that you're a pretty good actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that said, you think about it. Out of 19,000, I invited a ridiculous number, 1,400 people. Usually, I would have probably invited maybe 800 or 900 for
Mm.
9 roles.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I upped it and upped it, and then I gave 5 extensions for people to get it in because all of a sudden we were in the pandemic. So
Mm.
our schedule moved. I wanted to give them the luxury of the time.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by winning the casting office is if you come in, you're professional, you know your words, you take an adjustment without any kind of, never defend your performance. That would be my pet peeve. If
That's
I
a good
say,
one.
no, I like what you did. I want to make an adjustment here, and the actor starts backpedaling and say, well, the reason I did it that way,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's one strike.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
only get 2 more. Because now my thing is that Patrick Rush is one of the biggest casting directors, pilot offices in town, and Todd Sherry was his casting associate for over a decade. And one of the things I learned from him is it's so not about you, don't make it about you. The
Mm.
minute it becomes about you, it's no longer about the movie.
Yep. Yep.
So, I came in, I brought you a nice, bright, red, shiny apple, and you want a papaya? I can be a papaya. Let me clarify. Okay, so now instead of being round and red, I'm kind of long, and I'm juicy, and I've got like this nice tangerine color to me.
Right.
Yes, please, and thank you. I can do that.
Yeah.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That way we learn that we can trust you to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
You can make us look good. There's 1,000 reasons why you don't get that specific job.
Mm.
Build your network, build your team. In my classes, I always encourage family, and they help each other out. You have a self-tape, you call me up and go, Steve, can you help me with my self-tape? I'll help you with yours.
Mm-hmm.
Offer to help and support your fellow actors because they'll pay it back to you with love.
Mm-hmm. And we're all in this.
Yeah, I mean, Don Cheadle, everybody knows Don Cheadle. I can tell you a great story about the great Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle, I never hired him, oddly enough, but he was always on my callback list. Don Cheadle would come into audition, and already he was a good actor, and he would bring 3 or 4 of his fellows with him all the time.
And audition?
Well, yeah, because they were like a support group.
Oh, all
so this came through many, probably 25 auditions over 3 years. And here comes Don, and Don's friends were guys that were his height, his color, his weight, they're very similar to him. And he goes, so he knew that if he had an audition, they would probably have a shot. And he'd go, hey, do you think, he goes, you got anything for the fellas? And I would say, Don, how about this? How about I give him your audition? He goes, no, I don't like him that much.
Since you
But
only
he
want to bring
knew, but he knew that some people would flake and not show up. So if I had an opening, I would say, well, today, Don and fellas, I got one opening, and they would do rock, paper, scissors and decide between them who would get the audition. And I was always impressed by that because they were very polite. They weren't obligating me to audition them. They were just saying like, hey, we all worked on the sides. If you got an opening, we're happy to support it. And they always rocked it like a pocket. They were always very good. So I think having a community, and that was Don Cheadle's community, and of course he's just a fantastic actor. I also had a young actor by the name of Will Ferrell that when I was working for Fox, as people read in the bio, I was at Paramount for 3 years. I was with Fox for about 7. And Will Ferrell would come in all the time because we needed improv actors. Now, this is pre-going to Saturday Night Live, but he was already Will Ferrell. And Will Ferrell would come in every time, funny as hell. He'd always be on the callback list. And always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So about 10 years ago when I was moving, I found this old black and white picture of Will Ferrell when he was at USC. Didn't have any credits, just groundling, Second City. So my producer from Fox, who I hadn't seen in like 20 years, I said, I'm going to bring this picture to just see if he knows who this is. So we're at lunch, and I show the picture. I go, hey, do you remember this actor? And he goes, he looks really familiar. I go, you don't know who he is? He goes, no. And I go, it's Will Ferrell. He goes, oh, what a great little bit of nostalgia.
Look at that.
And I turned around in the back where he had written notes, and I said, so you remember Will? He goes, oh my God, that's right. We did audition Will many times.
Wow.
I said, we never hired him. And he goes, oh my God. So, but Will Ferrell, Don Cheadle, Mary, Bob, Sue, you can win the casting office, which means Michael Donovan, who's a really good friend of mine, one of my mentors, he has won Best Casting Director in Los Angeles. He's been nominated probably 20 times. I think he's won it 11 times. And he said, you can win the casting office by doing all of the following. So win the casting office, and when you do win the casting office, then you become eligible for every job that we're auditioning that you're right for as long as the rest of our lives.
Man, that was great, solid advice. I mean,
so be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I love that. Just commit to it and give 200%. I love that you said that. So, you said so many cool things. You kind of already answered my other question, which I was gonna say.
I read minds. I'm reading your mind.
I was gonna say, are you reading my mind? Because
a little bit.
I was gonna ask you because I'm like, people are probably actors. They get so upset when they don't get a job, but you made it pretty clear it's not a job. The fact that you get those auditions.
The audition's the job.
That's the job.
That's the job. Do that well.
Yeah, I love that. But, you also spoke about relationships, and you tend to have a lot of great relationships within the industry. So how do you recommend or suggest that actors cultivate and nurture relationships with casting offices?
Okay. I did not say this, but this resonates with me. I want everybody to work hard, but I want them to work smart. Work hard, but work smart. We all know the old adage, there's a business at the end of the show. So business. What's your business? So you got to bring your business to it. A student who actually has been around for a long time was somewhat frustrated that they had not got representation yet. And I said, that's nothing but a thing. Why are you worried about that? You represent yourself first and foremost. You will never not represent yourself. Cheryl Lee Ralph, one of the Dream Girls, somebody I did hire. Cheryl Lee has always been a great presence, and she's also been a great businesswoman. She knows what works for Cheryl Lee Ralph, and she always brings it forth. And early in her life, she created Island Girl Productions. So she made herself a sole proprietor of herself, and eventually became incorporated so that she could keep more of the money. Relationships are about yes, please, and thank you, and also not wanting anything. Spread some love.
Being of
Spread
service.
some, being of service, and also, you can bet if you're within my network and you're a producer or director that could hire me,
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day, I'm gonna be reaching out to you. Mother's
Mm-hmm.
Day, I'm gonna be reached out to. When
Mm-hmm.
your birthday comes, I'm not gonna wish you happy birthday on your Facebook
Right.
because I have your phone number.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
call you and I'm gonna do my best to sing happy birthday to you and tell you that you're better than a text, better than an
Oh
email,
my,
and better than Facebook.
that's awesome.
And if I can't reach them, I leave them a message.
Mm.
But I make sure that somebody came to my class to audit. And by the way, anybody out there, it's not hard to find me if you Google Pitbull Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on LinkedIn. I'm not hard to find,
Where does the
And
Pitbull name come from?
okay, that's another story. But the point is, this young actor came and audited, and they said, "Oh my God." I actually got it from two people. One was a manager by the name of David Rosenblatt, who's been around for a while. He popped into my Zoom class, and he said, "Oh my God, you made me feel so important." Well,
Oh,
of course,
that's amazing.
make as an actor. Spencer Tracy said, "What's the secret to acting?" One of the greatest actors says, he said, "Walk up to the mark, say your lines, and be interested in the person in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are genuinely interested in them, that will show on camera." So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a reader or it's your friend reading or you're on set or in rehearsal, I'm looking at you. You're the most important thing to me right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could
You
tell.
are you are my world.
Oh,
I'm in this scene with you. You matter to me.
yes.
Everything you do, everything you say, every reaction that you have, I'm interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you show interest in the other person, then you'll be interesting to watch, and
Yeah.
it'll keep your mind off all the negatives.
Yeah.
But just offer some kindness.
Mm.
Make a point that when every person that comes into my audition and people go like, "Well, Steve, you're not in the room." I go, "You got the producer, the director, the writer, my casting partner, a reader, a camera operator. What am I going to do in that room?
Right.
I got you in the room.
Mm.
I'm in the lobby as the ambassador to welcome you and make sure you're taken care of.
Love that.
To make sure that if you're having a bad day, that I can calm you down. I can
Mm.
lift you up. If
Mm.
you're having a good day, then I'm just going to fan that flame."
Mm.
So that's what I was getting back to. People love to come audition for me. That's what they say. I'm not saying it. I'm not Donald Trump. But they always say they have a good time. And I said, well, acting is supposed to be fun. We
Mm.
go back to the Greek days when they first put up the first play. Why did they call it a play?
Mm.
Because it's like when we're little chitlins, we're
We
playing.
playing around. We love to play.
We play and we're telling a story. We're embracing that. We're hoping to resonate with the work that we do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I
and
love.
as far as the Pitbull thing goes, when I was not a famous actor, but I worked all the time. I never once I got past my first year, I didn't. I chose to have a job just because I didn't want to sit around waiting for the phone to ring. But I didn't really need that other job because I made a living as an actor,
Nice.
and that's also something that's within. If you're a good and doable person and you get it and you're a professional, you're going to work. There's no reason why you won't work.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
there could not be a better time for actors than right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because once upon a time, there's 3 channels. You'd have a plier to change that channel on your TV, and you had a little rabbit here. And at midnight, all 3 of them channels went down.
What?
Yeah, ask your mama. There's only 3 channels. There's Channel 4, Channel 7, and I think Channel 2. That's all we had.
Oh no.
And when it got to about midnight, they do like little God Bless America song, and then there was no TV between probably midnight or 1 a.m. and probably 7 or 8 a.m. the next morning.
Mm.
So now there is so much streaming. There's Netflix, there's web series, there's new contacts, there's TikTok, there's this, there's that.
Everything.
There's so many platforms out there for you guys to get work in,
Yeah.
and there's never been a better time to be an actor.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
So So if that's what you want to be, that's that's what you want to do. You want to do. So when I was an actor, I was making the transition to casting, and I didn't want to use my name. So I dedicated my company. J is for John, my grandfather. S is
Oh,
for Steve, but not Stephen, my father. And I thought, well, I'll call it J.S. Snyder and Associates, dedicated to the family, and then get my name removed from the equation so that I could be identified as as a casting director and not an actor.
I love that. Nice,
You
nice.
know, so after about a couple years, about a year and a half into it, where I got to that point where I said, you know what, I think I'm more excited about the casting than I am about the acting. I'll
Mm,
still do it, but I want to focus really on telling the underdog story, working with young directors as they're coming up,
mm.
um, rising up through the rubble. Working with people like with the great F. Gary Gray. I'm sure if you don't know F. Gary Gray is, you should just turn in your black card. I'm thinking, just turn it in, put it in your wallet, and stop it, and or your SAG card for that
You're
matter.
getting all the laughs on this. People are putting
Yeah.
laughing emojis.
Well,
Uh,
there's comedy. Usually it's because of me, or it's on me. But F. Gary Gray was at USC. He reached out to me to do his first short film. And F. Gary Gray, of course, the last Fast and Furious, Straight Outta Compton. A lot of people said, like, hey, did you see Straight Outta Compton? And I go, did I see it? I lived it. I lived it.
you took it
I
there.
literally lived it because F. Gary Gray came up around the same time Cube did and Ice-T. One of my most proudest videos, and people are going to cringe because it gets political, is Cop Killer by Body Count.
Hey,
But it sent a
I
message.
like
But
that
it
song
sent.
too.
But it sent a message out, and it got the message to the people.
Yeah.
So with F. Gary Gray, I worked with him for about 2 years until he blew up, and we worked with Eazy-E, and Eazy-E was such an amazing human being, and all those guys, NWA.
Hmm.
Somehow, I became the guy that cast, diversity.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you are known for that.
Yeah,
You.
no. As I told you, 15 Over Club, when I first got that job, I called Kim Coleman, Kimberly Foster McCullum. I called Kim Williams, the three Kims of the casting world. And
Hmm.
that goes back from Living Color to Tyler Perry and, every Kim Coleman. And I said to my ladies, I said, I got a pilot, because it was a pilot at the time, and I said, it's predominantly African-American cast. I'm not African-American. I
Hmm.
said, what do I do?
Hmm.
Because I want to help, not just I want to help everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody important. All lives matter to me. And
Hmm.
I said, I don't want to take a job away from them. And they said, Steve, you're a black man in a white suit. I said, you got this. And I asked for them to read the
I can
script
see
to
that.
make. I said, can you read the script to make sure that if there's anything offensive that I might miss? And they said, you got this. You run with this. This is your job. This is what God's put in front of you. And of course, we had Stephen Williams and Jarris Poindexter. And we had so many great people come out and show enthusiasm in that project.
Hmm.
So, but I'll tell you, it was pretty funny. We had the table read. I had not yet met the director, and the
Hmm.
director was African American. I had only talked to him on the phone,
Hmm.
and he walked in, and we had a wonderful cast at the table, and he looked at them, and then he looked at me, and his face went white, which is really hard because he's deep chocolate, and he kind of like he kind of gave me a look, and he go like, let's see what you can do, young man, young blood. And at the end, he gave me a big hug, and he said, man, you blew this stuff up. So that said, all those
You
things
funny.
during everything that happened in Straight Outta Compton, I was cast in music videos because I've cast over 1,700. So I've been very blessed on this journey to work with people, as they were coming up,
Yeah.
and for that to see their value and to be able to help paint that canvas with a great cast.
Wow.
Whether it's Metallica or Bon Jovi or Cheap Trick or Kiss or the late Teddy Pendergrass. I was just very blessed to be on the ground level of things. So
Wow.
get there, get out there, work with those young filmmakers. That's what I say.
I love it. I mean, you've worked on so many sets. I mean, I guess it's so hard to choose. What has been like your favorite set experience or your favorite project you work on? I mean, you've worked on so many. I don't know if you can narrow that down.
Well, I can tell you this. The great Ted Nugent said, "I haven't done my greatest project yet. I haven't done my favorite. My next project is my favorite project." Right now, talking to you and all the wonderful people that are out there that care enough to show up, that have interest in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most important thing in my life. This is the most important moment. So
Mm-hmm.
when I do the projects, I hope I haven't done my greatest project yet.
I
I
love
hope
it.
I haven't. I hope I haven't done. Yes, I can look back and go. Sometimes I see something and I go, "Huh, I did okay." I
Mm.
think that's also an important message during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Is we're all going to have a report card when this is all over, and it will end just like anything else.
Yeah.
My
Yeah. Yeah.
my,
Yeah.
my grandma used to say, "This will pass too." So
Mm.
when we get a
I
report
say
card
that
at the
too.
end of this,
Mm-hmm.
when we get a report card at the end of this, and you're looking at your report card, I want you to go is like, did I volunteer? Did I help out? Did I offer a smile?
Mm.
Did I try to forgive people that were doing crazy shit?
Wow.
Did I do what was asked of me? And did we help us as as human beings to help people around the world to beat this, because we can do it together? And I'm hoping I get a good report card. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping for.
That's
You
awesome. I
know,
mean, when you look over your body of work, you've done so many things. I mean, how does it make you feel to look back and reflect and say, because I know when you started off, you didn't imagine you'd do all the things you've done so far.
um, I think we as people and on our journeys, we visualize what we want, and we work towards it. And as we're working towards, the road less traveled, things are gonna other roads are gonna merge into that universe.
Mm.
I was very blessed before I got into casting to work in rock and roll radio,
Nice.
and in 4 years. 4 years of time, I interviewed over 500 rock and roll bands, and I did it
Wow.
on radio just like you're doing it now.
Wow.
I didn't really go out to do it. It happened quite accidentally.
Huh?
I was
Like,
just
like me.
I was just on the radio one day filling in for another guy, and Buzz came on the buzzer, and they said, "Oh, Steve, the band is here."
Uh,
And I'm going, "The band? Oh my God, is Robbie Robertson here? Is And they go, "No, no, no. The guy you're filling in for has a band that comes by every Friday at noon." And I go, "Okay, what do we do?" They say, "Well, you just talk to them, play some records, ask some questions." I go, "Oh, okay, I can do that." That band was contrived of three men. One was named Adam, the other was named Bono, and the other guy was Edge. And they were in a
oh,
little trio out of Ireland called U2 that
love
nobody
you
knew.
too.
That nobody knew. That was their first West Coast outing,
Wow.
and they were about a week away from releasing their first record. And after I did the interview, apparently my program director thought I was awesome and said, "I'm going to give you a show." I go, "Wait, now I got to do a show." And then through the next 4 years, I had days where I might interview three or four bands during the same day. I might do
Wow.
Def Leppard. I might do Def Leppard in the morning, and then do the Four Tops at 12 noon,
Mm-hmm.
and then do Jackson Brown at 4 o'clock. You
Nice.
know, but
That's
once I started doing it, I just went to all the record labels and said, "I'll talk to anybody.
mm,
Give me you're hungry, you're humble, you're tired, you're poor masses.
mm.
I will help them." So I think being open as an actor to any work that you're doing, and being willing, and your friend wants to do a demo reel, say, "Hey, I could be in there for you. I
Yeah.
could be your scene partner."
Yeah.
You
100%.
know, want to help, not to hurt.
Right, 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 right. I love that. I mean, if you can go back in time and not in a place of regret because God aligns everything for us and everything happens for a reason, but if you can give
Mm-hmm.
your younger self some advice, what would you say to the younger version of you?
You got this.
I like that.
I mean, I don't have any
I
regrets. I
like
mean,
that.
I think,
You got this.
I'm not for everybody. I definitely am a step to the left. James Catroci, one of the producers on East Texas Oil, It's now called Miracle in East Texas, will be coming out. And he gave me the job as a casting director. It was a nice, nice $5 million film shot in Canada. We had 5 weeks to cast it. Normally I have 12 to 14 or 15 weeks to cast a film. He told the producers, he goes, you're hiring the pit bull. He's going to be your casting director. And he's a little different. And the subtext under, he's a little different. They go, but he's different in a good way because he's going to be 4 and 5 steps ahead of you, and he will get the job done. He'll bring it in. And it was exhausting. It was like 20-hour days for 5 weeks.
Wow.
But the job was what the job is. So whatever that job is, stay the course. Stay the course.
Stay the course.
Fast food mentality, you reap what you sow. You don't put in the time, then you won't get to the quality that you're able to give. God gave you a gift. You should use that gift. And it's also okay not to be an actor. It's okay not to do it. I say that from time to time. Or if you get too caught up into anything, whether it be music, fashion, TV, film, whatever, painting, you got to step back. You got to step back for a day. Do something that's not related to that occupation. And acting should be an occupation. It's, the dream is to work. Well, the dreams will come true. Could happen to you if you're pure of heart. No doubt. So, but if you become so obsessive, one of the advices, because I can sense when actors are getting burnt out, and I'll say to them, you know what? In order to have a creative life, you got to have a real life.
Man, you're
otherwise,
so wise.
Or you will not, Master Shifu. But these are the things I wrote. Sensei, I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I really don't. So blessed.
As you should.
And so blessed to have wonderful actors that come in and say, help me.
Yeah, I love
it. And we're gonna do it together. We're gonna do it together. I hope. One of the things that I've said in my physical classes is when I get in there, I look at class as a sanctuary. I don't care. Back in my younger days, didn't matter if me and my girlfriend were fighting, my parents were pissed off at me, my job, my boss just fired me. All of that goes away because I get to walk into a room where I get to be creative. And the world can kiss my butt for the next 3 or 4 hours. And I can just be present in that environment. I can fix all that other stuff later. It's still on my radar. But I'm not going to let that bother me in the room. So love what you do. Do it well. Do it often. Don't wait for the job to come to you. You don't have an audition? Go get some sides. Work on it. Talk with the people that you trust about your cast ability. What is the given kind of roles that you're going to play? I'm 64 years old. I'm 5'8", maybe 7. I think I'm playing leprechauns. I'm probably playing douchey biker guys. Christmas is coming up. I'll probably play Santa Claus. I might be on Sons of Anarchy because this is, before there was branding, I kind of branded myself. But everybody in their own, and be who you're going to be.
Yeah.
Look, you want to be the most commercially viable you can. But you don't want to be so weird that you're uncastable.
Yeah.
Your essence and personality is what you can bring to the table with your life experiences. And, make sure that, there's a little likability there, hopefully. Like Steve's a little different, but he can get the job done.
Right.
But I walk into the class and go, kids, I'm 64 years old, and I'm more excited about your acting career than you are. You better get excited because it's showtime.
Yeah.
Let's do the do. Let's do the do. Let's remove all obstacles between you and what you want. Let's just say we ain't got no time for no haters because we're too busy being celebrators.
Getting paper.
Getting paper, whatever,
I like that. I like that. You actually read my mind again because I was gonna ask you to leave us with 3 tips, but you gave us 200. So
Yeah, well, okay. So, in regard, as regards to everybody has to find the way. People go, "What do you teach?" And I go, "Suck less, book more."
Mm.
Sincerely,
There
suck
you have
less,
it.
book more. Cut to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
If you can remove the obstacles between you and what you want, it's a shorter, more direct route.
Mm.
Clean up your house.
Mm.
Just like on computers. If there's something wrong with your computer, what I learned, and I was one of the last people dragged into the computer era 25 years ago, uh, I learned that most computer errors are based on the human that's operating that computer.
Mm.
So the parallel is in the acting.
Yeah.
If your craft is the computer, you're the human.
Yeah.
Make sure you didn't bring the stank to the room.
Right. Leave a stank at the door.
Whether it's being difficult or whether making it too much about you. Bring your best self to the thing. Be willing to fail.
Mm.
Embrace the opportunities that you have in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
When you submit or when you knock on an agent door or manager door, they do not, you don't get invited in, and it's a no.
Mm.
Give me no all day. That's just next opportunity. Okay, fine. I'll go make money for somebody else.
That's how I see it. You want to make
I'm
money?
gonna blow it up.
Right.
And your relationships with your agents and managers, understand that your agent or manager takes you on, and they're going to lose money for anywhere from a year and a half to 2 years.
Mm.
They're spending money on you. Getting you those appointments, getting those auditions. Make sure that when you ask for representation that you're ready for it.
Wow, yeah.
Because nobody gives a crap about your day job. If your day job is getting in the way of your auditions, then you're not an actor.
Good note. Yeah.
You're somebody that's trying to become an actor. You haven't become that actor yet.
Yep.
Work night shifts. Work at home.
Mm-hmm.
Find a way. When as an actor, I had a total of 3 agents and 2 managers, and I had 2 agents because one did commercial and one did theatrical. In 17 years, I only replaced one of them.
Wow, loyalty.
Because they died. And then the manager that I worked with for a long time, they retired. Otherwise, I would have only had 1 rep my whole career. Wow. My goal and every actor's goal should be, and it's so easy. You'd be amazed at how easy it is. Yes, please, and thank you. Become your agent or manager's favorite client. And as messed up as people are, it ain't that hard. Let them other fools be difficult. When I sat across my first agents and managers, they said, okay, so we are considering representing you. Our job is A, B, and C, and D. And they said, your job is to be available from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and occasionally on the weekends, without question. So I immediately quit my job, signed the contract, quit my day job, got a job in New York driving cab, and I would drive cab from approximately 6 p.m., but I could always go in later if need be. And I drove a 12-hour shift from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. There was no damn auditions between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
No.
And the other cab drivers, we would support each other. So if a guy was supposed to hand me the cab at 6, I could page him back then and say, hey, I got an audition at 6:30. He goes, that's cool. I got the cab for you. He goes, in fact, I'll come by, bring the cab to your audition. Said New York, you'll hand it off and you'll run me home. And then if I oversleep, if I oversleep and need you to hang, a little bit longer to 7 or 8 a.m., I said, I got you. So, I think that's in it in a nutshell. Become your agent or manager's favorite client. Make sure that you do your job and you understand what your job is. If in order for anybody that's hiring you, directing you, working with you, trying to hire you, agent, manager, trying to get you a job, hopefully they will do their job properly. But in order for them to do their job, including me as a casting director, in order for me to go to bat for you, I need for you to know what your job is and do your job well.
Yeah.
Show up on time, be awesome, yes please and thank you, and don't do stupid stuff.
That's good. I mean, those 3 tips alone should carry anybody a long way, regardless of your profession. So, I mean, you coming on here, answering all these questions for us, it truly has been a blessing. And I'm pretty sure that those that are watching, if they didn't take something away from this, is because they weren't listening. So, I really hope that they're
Well, at least 90% of success they've already achieved because they showed up.
Yes.
You know, they showed up. The I think another important factor is you got to love this. Mm-hmm. You got to love what you do. It's a long way to the top. Don't be in a hurry to get to the top, because when you get, it's. I work with Alice Cooper a lot. Alice Cooper said, when you're going up the hill, it's like a roller coaster. It's go that right up, because when you get to the top of the hill, it's fast on the way back down.
Yeah.
You plummet. You can plummet so quickly. So enjoy the journey. Yes, and along that way, and study and make observations of the people that have impressed you, that made you want to do this.
Yeah.
Joe Bonamassa, one of the greatest blues guitarists, modern day blues guitarists, at the age of 12, he made a goal for himself that he wanted to play. His father had given him, and he was already a guitar virtuoso at the age of 12, self-taught, much like Buddy Guy. And his dad gave him Eric Clapton live at the 24 nights at the Royal Albert Hall, one of the greatest venues in London. And he vowed that one day he would sell out the Royal Albert Hall, and that Eric Clapton would come on stage and play one of the songs from that album called 24 Nights. He achieved that. It took him 20 years.
Wow.
It was a 20-year journey to come to fruition.
Wow.
But he achieved it, and sure enough, you can look it up. Eric Clapton, Joe Bonamassa, further on up the road, it's on YouTube. And to see Joe Bonamassa's face when Eric Clapton walked out on that stage and said, I got you. And he got to jam with, his heroes. So I've been very blessed to get to meet all my heroes. And 9 out of 10 of them were awesome.
Wow.
So please know that you're awesome. The people listening to this show, they're awesome. Keep being awesome. Set the bar high for yourself. Don't let nothing get you down. Another example of just being in for the long haul, everybody knows J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons won the Academy Award, the Golden Globe, everything for a movie called Whiplash. And he held up that trophy and he said, this is for 20 years of acting class. But wait, there's more. And another 20 years of learning on set coming up that ladder. So for J.K. Simmons, it was a 40-year journey.
Wow.
To get to that pinnacle.
Yeah.
To get to that pinnacle.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler, when he won the Golden Globe or the Emmy recently. Now, you would think Henry Winkler would have won an Emmy for Fonzie. But he won it for The Barry Show.
Right.
And he said it took 42 years to get to that point. So in his third life or generation, he's still working. He's still doing it. Henry Winkler never stopped working.
Wow.
And and he's so happy about it.
Yeah.
And when he said it in his acceptance speech, he said, when I first started in the business, one of my first coaches told me, if you stay in the game long enough, all the cards or chips will come to you.
Wow. It'll come find you. I love that.
Yeah. Lou Gossett Jr. is in the movie Miracle in East Texas. Lou Gossett's an Academy Award winner. He's an amazing actor. You can't take your eyes off of Lou Gossett. Lou Gossett, 12 years ago, did a short film for me because we were doing a film and we were doing it as a war veteran's story. It's like an episode of The Twilight Zone. It was really Lou Gossett and one other guy. But he read the script. He agreed to do it. Didn't take a paycheck on it. He donated the money to the Veterans Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the set with Lou Gossett, and he goes, "Hey, Steve." And I go, "Yes, sir, Mr. Gossett." He goes, "Just call me Lou." I go, "Not going to happen, brother." I said, "I will not call you Lou." I said, "I don't know you like that." I said, "Maybe when I'm your age." And he said to me, "Why am I doing a short film?" He goes, "I never did. Well, why am I doing a short film?" I said, "Well, you read the script." He goes, "Oh, yeah, I did. I like the script."
Yeah.
I said, and, you...
Instagram cuts us off after 1 hour. I guess
Oh,
they.
no, that's okay. I think people are probably bored of me by now, so...
No, you've been great. I really just wanted to come back on here to simply tell you. I mean, you've answered so many questions for us. I mean, you've been such an inspiration, not only to myself, but I'm pretty sure to our audience. Thousands of people watch this on our replay. So if they didn't come in at this moment, they get an opportunity to watch it again. And it'll be on all of our social platforms. So we'll send you the final cut when we're done. But, I mean, you've truly been like a big inspiration to me. You've dropped so many gems. You've officially become the sensei. So
you're very kind. They do call me Master Shifu.
see, I could believe that. I could believe that. Seriously, you earned that title. You went through it. You've experienced it, and I mean, you're truly a resource that everyone can use. You're definitely a role model. So, guys, connect with him. I put his Instagram there. Get involved in the classes that he's doing. Virtually. Again, we are in the new wave of the future, so we do have to get with it or we'll get lost. So make sure you guys go ahead and connect there as well. My Instagram handle is there, as well as the F.A.T.E Global Instagram handle. If you like what we're doing, we are bringing on artists. We are bringing on these phenomenal people that you may not have as much access to. And we're hoping to inspire you through our company, F.A.T.E Global. Sorry, we got cut out there. But you mentioned for those 3 tips. You talked to us about so many things, about how you got into the entertainment industry, tips you leave an artist, the casting process. You gave us so much information for free. So all we can say is that we honor you and we thank you. You wear your crown extremely well, because you're definitely a king of the universe, and we appreciate you so much.
Very kind. You're
Yeah.
very kind. Well, I'll be glad to come back. I will be glad to come back sometime, and anytime you want me to come back and visit, I'm always going to be here. I just tell everybody, prayers and praise. The blessings coming for you. Just don't, work. Work hard. Work harder for what you want. Don't give up. If this is what you want to do, find a way to navigate it. And yes, absolutely. I teach on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Zoom. If anybody wants to come on board and perform, to me, auditing means you get up and work. People often ask me that, guys, wait a minute, I get to come to your class and I get to audit and I get up and work? Yeah, that's what we're there. You can sit around Starbucks all day long and talk about your career, or you can actually come to the table and bring your best work to the table, so that we can have fun and we can explore. Exploration is all about exploration. Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Again, Pacific Standard Time. If you just Google Pitbull Snyder Actor Studio, and you'll find. I ain't hard. Somebody goes like, "Well, hey, I'm having trouble finding." And I go, "Every other mother humper found me." It's like. I'm pretty transparent, and I do return every email and I do return every text.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too that I'll give a parting thing is, make sure that every day, everything that comes your way. I mean, occasionally you're going to have a crazy person or a fool, but most of the time, always be gracious, always be kind. Don't let anybody be left behind.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm a poet and I don't know it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, some of the things you've been saying just have been resonating with my spirit. So thanks again. You could have been doing anything. You could have been preparing for classes or whatever, but yeah, you came on here and giving your time.
I could have been hanging out with my gorgeous wife. I don't need to do this.
Right.
I got cats. I'm cool.
I like that. Well, we'll let you go. Guys, again, connect. Write him, message him. We appreciate you so much. So we'll talk to you soon.
All right. God bless.
God bless. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye.